lasses there, all were smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gammon along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another evening show. John Sinclair TV back again, and this evening I've got regulars on a Monday. I've got Pete and I've got Tony. Good afternoon, guys. Hey, guys.
How are you?
Hi, guys. You all right?
Great stuff. And just before we go on as well, the video shown yesterday, I don't know if you guys, Peter's seen it, and just an update on that clip I've done yesterday. I've now got 16,023 views, and the last 40 hours, 17,826 views in the last 2 years. So big up for people who's been watching the clip I've done yesterday. And let's have a look at the comments as well through to yesterday's game. Big up to Andrew DB, hope you're okay. Big up to Gary D, evening to you. David saying, hi, John, cannot believe that we are third. You know what it is, David? Me personally, I'm not surprised, if I'm honest, because the way we've been playing this season has been absolutely fantastic under Eddie Howe. If you take last season into consideration as well, into this season, I think we'd be in the top 4, if not probably top of the table the way we're at in a minute. We got to Mansell Hansel, we got to you, we got to the Clone lad. Brilliant performance like last yesterday. Wilson's fit. I think we could beat Chelsea. I'll tell you what, I'm not scared of Chelsea at all whatsoever. And big up to Andy, a big gooner. Well on to you yesterday. And well on the tune. Don't get too good. Well, I tell you what, though, Rex of the Embers is not great, isn't it? Let's be real. And big up to Gary again. Watch your video. Thank you, Gary. Right, we're going to talk about yesterday's game between Southampton and Newcastle United and doing a match review and player ratings. And it was a cracking win yesterday. It wasn't our best, but we got the job done. Pete, give us a breakdown on yesterday's game, mate.
Yeah, I mean, not the best, but we definitely took our chances. Just against the Southampton team, who was just really, really awful at the moment as well. And yes, stick 4 goals pass down there as well. That's another team we've put away from home as well. And just so brilliant where we are, isn't it? I mean, it's a Miggy can't stop scoring, leaves Maitland-Niles sitting on his backside for the first goal. Great goal by Chris Wood when he come on in the second half for Wilson as well. And Willock, it was just a matter of time before he was going to get that goal. It just was the matter of time. He was my man of the match yesterday. I thought he was superb for me yesterday. Best player out on the pitch. Did get a goal back to Southampton, of course. Slight consolation. It was too little, too late. But Mr. Bruno G scores a corker as well. And to show the appreciation for his son as well, which was absolutely magnificent as well. Yeah, but again, mentioned not a great performance, but we did what we had to do. We took our chances, and Southampton are just in massive trouble.
They are indeed. Before we go on to Tony, bit of breaking news from early on today. It's no surprise to people that Ralph Hasenhüttl has been sacked by Southampton. I mean, Graham Souness came out yesterday and said that he was sacked before we played Newcastle. To be fair, this interview we'll answer the questions, so that's not great. Before we go on to our game, Tony, are you surprised about that decision? Ralph's been sacked by Southampton.
Not really, John. And you probably knew it was coming in, to be honest with you. I'm pleased he's gone. Get rid of this crappy manager out of this league, because I tell you now, he's nothing but a whinger, a moaner. The we went on about us last season. Karma's come back and bit him in the backside, and he's gone.
Absolutely. And you know what it is, right? This guy telling the Premier League not to play on new signings, right? Then he kicked off because against his postponed because of COVID to our player suite, and then he tells us what to do, right? So at the end of the day, right, karma bit him. Simple as that. And let's be real.
Right, John.
Right? Go on, Tony.
Thing is, John, right? So he
It's
goes to
another one.
Premier League to say
Yeah.
he goes to Premier League to say we can't play our new players. Right. So this is a scenario, John. Right. And so he tells us we can't play our new players. Now, if we'd sold any of our players, just say, for instance, what if we'd sold Jamal Lascelles, for instance, right? And he says, oh, well, we're going to play the same team we would have played. So say, for instance, we sold Jamal Lascelles. I'm just going to say any team, Leeds, right? Just say, for instance, he went to Leeds. Now, we would have to go to Leeds and say, right, oh, by the way, we need Jamal Lascelles back. But we need to have him back off you and we need to register him. But the problem is, a player can only register twice in one season. So he's already been registered with us. Then he would have registered with Leeds. He can't then register a third time. So this guy is a total muppet and does not know the rules around football. Well, or he should do, because if he doesn't, then I don't know how he's a manager. But to be honest with you, he got what he deserved, and it's his own fault at the end of the day.
Well said, Tony. And you know what it is? He's got beat by his own game, sort of thing. You know, we haven't got Newcastle. You're just going to get you back, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So at the end of the day, right? I think he's done a good job at Southampton, but this season he got found wanting. It's as simple as that. Am I surprised he's been sacked? Not at all. Am I glad he's gone? Yes, I am, because you can't have him, like you said, Tony, telling us what to do. It's as simple as that. So there you go. Tony rant is over. Give us a breakdown on yesterday's game, mate.
I mean, it wasn't we didn't play our best yesterday because we've been playing on top of our game for weeks now. But yesterday wasn't our greatest game, and I'm not saying that as in a negative way. I'm just saying that because it wasn't our greatest game yesterday. But the thing is, though, if you're going to have a poorish game, but your 4 shots on target are going in the back of the net and you're winning 4-1, that's a sign of a great team, because every team has a bad game now and then. You know, if not one team goes through the whole season having a perfect game week in, week out, because it would never happen. You know, we're all human at the end of the day. So, but the fact that we've played well, that we didn't play well, but we still annihilated Southampton. And the thing is, John, and people may think the same, but do you not think this is in some way scary, that we can actually go out there, not only batter teams when we're on top of our game, but also when we're not playing well, and still batter them with 4 goals? You know, it's just absolutely brilliant. And I mean, Southampton, they were in the ascendancy of the first half, but then Miggy got the goal, and then obviously Elanusi missed that sitter. I mean, what a sitter he missed.
Emma, you see, obviously, oh my God.
He had the freedom of Southampton to put that away, but he didn't take it. So, and then obviously second half, Chris Wood scored, and then the game was almost won. Then Joe Willock scored after that superb pass from Trippier. And then obviously Bruno wraps it up 4-1 because they got a consolation goal, which they shouldn't have gotten. And when the goal goes in against us, if you look at Botman's reaction, that tells you all. Botman is furious that they have scored that goal.
I bet he was.
He's doing all this, the hands and everything. He wasn't happy at all.
No.
So that's a sign of a good defence when they're getting angry at conceding a goal, even if it's only a consolation. But I think they'll put that right because they'll look at that. They will analyse that, And, and even Chris Sutton summed it up today on Twitter. And I retweeted his tweet because I thought he was absolutely spot on with what he said. When he said, United up to 3rd place with a stunning performance against Southampton. Manchester United stay in 5th place. Because he says, Man United have got no right to just be called United. He says, they are Manchester United. He says Newcastle have the right to be called United. That is what Chris Sutton said. And that guy has just gone way up in our estimation now. You know, and yeah, it's great to see Man United down there now. They're 4 points behind us, so there's no chance of catching us now. And we're 6 ahead of Chelsea. And, you know, we're ahead of Spurs now as well. And when on Saturday, we'll stay third top. Simple as. If only Fulham had held on against Man City and they didn't get a dodgy penalty, then who knows?
Exactly. We'd be 3 points behind City at the Etihad as well. And you know what it is, right? I mean, this is so sweet, guys, because what it is, Tony been saying all the time that there's a juggernaut coming. We are going to upset the big six. The media and the punts ain't going to like it. And look where we are now, third. And where's Oliver Holt? Where's old Martin Samuel? Where's Vico Delaney? Are they all quiet? Are they going to come out? Nah, they kept their mouth shut because they're embarrassed to pre-us. How weird, man.
I mean, obviously it was the game, so you wouldn't have heard it, but on Sky, I mean, they were praised, like on the commentary team, you know, saying how good we were. And they must be doing that through gritted teeth to say that, because it must absolutely kill Sky to say that we are a great team at the moment, you know. And, you know, Pep saying, oh, we're title contenders and all this. But Eddie Howe's having none of it and he's playing it down, you know. And well done. But even Eddie Howe come out last night on his press conference and said, look, we did not play well today. But he says, we've still won, and that's the main thing. But he says, we did not play well. And he says, it was part of the performance, he says, and I wasn't happy with. And he says, but that'll all be addressed and sorted out before the next game in the Premier League.
Absolutely. Absolutely right, man. And you know what it is, right? I mean, I'm just so over the moon with Newcastle. Finishing third. No, we're not finishing third. Staying third, right? And they just don't like it. I listened to TalkSport this morning before we go for the comments. Laura Wood said that Arsenal third, Man City second, and then she's going straight for Man City to Liverpool. Not even mention Newcastle United. Not once. And I like Laura Woods, but for not bringing us up, right? But she did say later on, said that we are title contenders sort of thing, you know what I mean? But just a quick one before we go on, Pete. Do you think Newcastle are title contenders this season?
I wouldn't say just yet. At the moment, you never know. Anything could happen, though. Let's enjoy what we're doing at the moment. Let's not overthink and things like that. Let's just enjoy the run that we're on. I mean, we've got a cup game on Wednesday night. Let's get through to the next round in that one. And that's what it be. Let's not overthink things. Just enjoy what we're doing at the moment.
Totally agree. And the thing is as well, can you imagine in Newcastle, just saying hypothetically, went on top of the table, with one game left, guess who we got? Chelsea away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, John, I mean, the thing is, right? I mean, Keith Downey's come out and said that PIF have already said now they want to spend big in January because they want to put the fast forward on now. They said if we're in this top four, they want to put the fast forward on and keep we're there. Because they didn't expect we to be that high up already, which is brilliant. But the thing is, I mean, you know, like I say, it's just the fact that we don't play well and we're ripping teams apart. And that's the thing, John. That's what's frightening. But the thing about the title contenders, from Pep Guardiola, it's probably a bit of a reverse psychology, you know.
Yeah.
But Eddie Howe's not playing into that, which is great because the last thing you want is to start making everything think over. And like he said, the players don't think about where they are at the moment. They just carry on. It's like they'll go to the next game and aim for the 3 points. And that's the way to be. And this is why Eddie Howe's turned out to be a great manager now. And the thing is, like I said the other day, all those clubs who laughed at us having Eddie Howe as manager, he ain't laughing now. They're probably, a lot of them are thinking, shite, we've missed a trick here. We should have bloody got him. You know, and I'm not just talking about your Villas, you know, but any of the top teams now, and anybody else who sacks their manager, like say if it was one of the big six, I bet they would be casting an eye towards Eddie Howe, but they wouldn't get him because PIF would say, no chance. And There is breaking news tonight as well that Southampton are in talks with the Luton Town manager, Nathan Jones.
I've heard about that.
I've heard of that as well. For that, I tell you what, though, he's a young manager. He's 49-year-old, right? And this will be the second time he's leaving Luton, by the way. Do you know what I mean? And I think Luton fans are probably thinking, not again, not again. But hey ho. But if he goes there, he's got one big job in his hands because Southampton buy young and he sells on a profit. Does Nathan Jones want that? We have to see what happens, guys. Do you know what I mean? So if he gets him, I wish him all the best, but he's got one big job in his hands, by the way. But
and
see.
Also on Match of the Day 2 last night, Almiron won Goal of the Month for the goal against Fulham with 43% of the vote.
Beautiful. Scored again yesterday. Scored again yesterday. Big up. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Going through the comments there. Saying more Miggy always scoring. He does. Alan, big up to Alan. Considering we run out the best, we still scored for, and the win's convinced, to be honest. Long may this last. I've got to keep dipping myself and make sure it's not a dream. Alan, you can start dreaming this. I think we've got already this season. Big up to Lewis, by the way. Great guy. We're not just beating teams, we're also destroying them or slapping them. Them teams are 10 followers. I'm absolutely loving it, lads. Absolutely. Big up to my guy, Roy. We've got to get him back on next week sometime if he's available. Do you know what I mean? So love Roy to bits, by the way. He's funny, isn't he, Tony? He's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's good at telling stories as well, by the way, which is worth listening to. FSI hi to Roy. Bruno and Wood scored in the same fixture last season. Good shout. Brilliant shout. And I'm glad Pop Noodles got the sack. What a utter tool. I love it, man.
Not as funny as you know what, though.
Brilliant.
Depends what flavour he is, if it's chicken and mushroom or Bombay or beef and tomato.
Oh, yes, that's another one.
Exactly.
Oh, they got the Bombay hot boy, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh, Bombay bad boy, that's it. Bombay bad boy, that's the one, isn't it?
Beautiful. Not in 1 million years that will happen. It's just a Winger. Thank God he's gone. Ralph the Winger. Wasn't a perfect performance yesterday, but who was your player of the game yesterday? For me, is Willock, and I'm not going to say Casemiro because he plays for the Reds. Those are after the win, and so cannot believe how good we were. We also not our best, Roy, but at the end of the day, we got the job done, which is great. What I did was Connor, it sure was, mate. Another brilliant weekend with our lads, and it seems we're scared the Liverpool owners into selling up. Pete, what about that, man? They tried to put the club up for sale, right? Or say they're going to put the club for sale, right?
Yeah.
Are they ones gonna cop out because of us?
Well, I don't know, but perfect opportunity to take over Liverpool. All the dentists in Liverpool. All the dentists in Liverpool.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, I
exactly. Oh no. Take Klopp with them, by the way.
The Liverpool thing, John, it was on the sports news night when I was coming home on Absolute Radio, and they said the owners are not selling up completely. What they're doing is asking for investors to come in and have a share in the club. That's what they're asking for. I just wonder if they've lost a lot of money over the failed European Super League because obviously John Henry, the American owner, and the Glazers set that up together and got everybody else involved. So I wonder if they've lost a lot of money through that. And, why is he wanting investors in the club? That's the strange part about it. If he doesn't want to sell the club, because he said the club's not for sale, it's just we want investors in. He says people are jumping on the wrong thing. So watch your space. But I think we sent ripples through them as well now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be looking watching that with great interest, people. These really are. I'm sorry about that, people. John, what's it like? What was it like going to the home end, mate? Do you know what it is, man? I got looked after. I really did got looked after. I mean, the fans around us were absolutely fantastic. They really, really were. But some of their fans are not happy at all whatsoever. That missed chance in the first half, and the one when Botman did that, gave the ball away when they should have scored that goal, right? They were absolutely stunned. Guess what? I was smiling. Just watched the High Performance podcast with Eddie and got to see so much respect for him after he talks about what he's doing and his mindset. We're lucky, so lucky to have him. Absolutely. Young, gifted, and talented. Good evening. I like coffee. Good evening. Good win for you yesterday, mate. Have you seen what Eddie's full interview on podcast with Gia Humphries yet? I haven't. Eddie's superb, ultra professional. We are truly blessed. Big up to Static Guna fan. Well done for Newcastle. See, look, we get some kind fans from outside, don't we? Big up to Static, by the way. I saw a poll where Liverpool fans want Middle Eastern owners over American ones. Fair enough. To be honest, it was a great performance. As always, hard to break us down. Trippier is just a machine. It's solid greatness when we don't play well, or do to play well with faster opponents. Never in the history of the Premier League has so much humble pie been eaten by so many. Chris, I could not put that on any better, mate. Let's be honest. That Man City player who went down was a dive all day long, lads. I have to agree. What did you took of that yesterday about De Bruyne? I rate De Bruyne, but if he's going to do that, he loses my respect, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen the incident, to be fair, John. I haven't even seen I've got it on record, but I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like it was a dubious penalty, but if it's diving, then how comes it hasn't been picked up by VAR on diving as well? So he must have done it quite cleverly to get over. And obviously, just going back to I can't remember who it was now, but somebody mentioned about Trippier, and I mean, Shearer said a piece on Trippier last night, and he said on Match of the Day too, he said Gareth Southgate takes Trippier at the World Cup, has to start him. He says because, and he put stats up on the screen. He says, look how good Kieran Trippier has been for Newcastle. He says, look at his passing, look at his defending, look at the way he gets forward. He says, I know he can play right and left back, but he says he's better at right back. And he says, if Gareth Southgate doesn't start him in that very first game against Iran, he says he could be missing out on a World Cup adventure, because he says Kieran Trippier is the one that's got to start in that England team ahead of Kyle Walker, ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold.
True facts. And if he doesn't start Trippier in that game, really don't win that game, Southgate's neck will be on the chopping block. It's as simple as that. Laura Woods came back and spoke about Newcastle later in the show. Her father is a Newcastle supporter, as far as I know. He is a Newcastle fan, and they've done that. Big up. I can see Jurgen Klopp as well. We'll come down in a bit. Do you think City can still win it if Haaland got injured for a long period of time? Paul, I think City will win the league anyway, mate. Let's be real. They are too good in that league. As long as Pep is at the club, they're going to win it every single time. Don't think we're contenders just yet. Top 4 possible. Need ginger squad. That's an Allen stronger squad. Newcastle 50 to 1 to win the Prem. Chelsea 200 to 1. That shows how far we have come. 50 to 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Some Chelsea fans on their channel said they're worried about their fixtures. Man City and us next. They are generally worried about dropping out of the top 4. Well, I hope that's the case. Pot noodle, stock egg flip. Beautiful. We move on. Nice to see Newcastle in November. So we are over. So exciting. Good to see ASM back playing too. He did all right yesterday. I'm not going to lie. That pass yesterday to Bruno. The orders go to smash the cash again in Jan, lads, because the huge amount of progress that has been made in such a short time. I think they would go for big still. Can't wait. If we were struggling as well, we'd still be spending big, mate. Let's be real. Hopefully, Mike Ashley takes over Liverpool. The bin dippers don't want the Yankees on serious back on the road Eastern. That's after we'll be casting need. And do you think? Yeah, I like that one. And as you guessed it. Even though just for Paul Ferris interview, overwhelming for many reasons. That's from Paul. I'd love to see a Middle East orders brought into Liverpool. Will club walk or spend the money after he slacked us off having no ceiling? Robert, just hit the subscribe button, mate, because I think this is your first time, I believe. And welcome to the show. That'd be amazing. You see Jurgen walking away. And big up to Lee Bolly. Lee, hit the subscribe button if you can, please, Lee. That'd be fantastic, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Eden Hazard could be coming to Newcastle. What do you think, Pete? Eden hasn't.
Not heard anything, to be honest. Would I have him? No, not now. I would. I don't think I would now. I think there's now better and younger players out there to go for,
Great.
i.e. Madison, i.e. Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk. Players like them, Diaby, another one. I think there's younger, better players out there than Hazard now.
Do you agree with that, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, he's what, 31 Hazard now, isn't he? 30,
Yeah.
31, something like that. And yeah, there's better players out there. The Diaby, Madison, Mudryk, even Manu Kone from Mönchengladbach, I still bang on about him. I think he's, he could be a potential great player. I mean, he's got some great ball skills and ran the show last year against Leipzig. And, the guy's only 21. Just think how better he's not 22 till I think next March. So,
yeah.
He would hit it in the Premier League, a defensive midfielder, and that would allow Bruno to get forward more, and he'd help the defence do the dirty work at the back. So yeah, but he can certainly chip a long ball, that's for sure. But he can play some nice balls, and if we got him in January, that would be a hell of a signing. And I think, like I touched on the other week as well, someone like Badia Shield coming in would be a fantastic signing because you could bring him over for when you start phasing Share out, because Share's the other side of 30 now. So, you're going to need a younger player to come in and take the mantle from Shah so he can be alongside Botman, and he's only 22. So, ideal. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't touch Eden Hazard at all. Not for 400k a week. Let's be real. I just cannot see that happening at all whatsoever. I agree with you guys. We should go for a younger version. Lee Madison, you mentioned, Mudryk as well, Diaby as well. Do you know what I mean? The rest of them, no. Simple as that.
You mean James Madison?
James Madison all day long, that gets us top 4. We get him, that gets us top 4. You know what I mean? I think James needs to look at the league where we are. Simple as that. And what's happened to the Brazilian youngsters? That would be Angelo Gabriel and also Andrea Santos as well. I think we're still working on those deals, Lee, to be fair. I think Andrea Santos would be linked out as well, but he's always been linked with Barca and PSG as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that bit, because at the end of the day, he's definitely going to be on the move. I don't know how they got on in the playoffs against, I can't remember that other Brazilian Second Nation team, but I will find that out in a bit. But don't know how they got on, but we found out. But I hope they do really well. Klopp should manage Munchen. Yay! Yes! Nagelsmann, don't worry about that, man. Ange Santos got sent off yesterday last game of the season, but fast goal won and got promoted. I was just going to touch on that. Yeah, Santos got sent off in the last game of the season. I don't know if it's 2 bookable offences. I do not know, but Fox do know more about that as well. Andrew, not like getting humble pie stuck in your scone, you know what I mean? Scone cutters. Sorry, Alan, I won't ignore you, mate. The evening lads to tune that as well. I mean, do you think Eddie Howe was proud yesterday, Pete, that performance, or do you think he could do better?
He was happy what we got the win, but the performance-wise, not really. I would say he would demand better in the next game, which I believe he will do that with the lads. We are at home next week. We're not going to fear Chelsea at all, and he'll be doing plenty of work and training with them as well to get prepared for the last game before the World Cup starts.
Yeah, and you know what it is? What he's done at his football club is just absolutely amazing. And you know what it is, right? I mean, look, he talks so well. He doesn't get a Flostad sort of thing. I'll put him alongside Pep, being cool, calm, collective sort of thing. And also, when we get beat, he takes beats like a man sort of thing. Simple as that. Do you agree with that, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely, John. Totally agree.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And let's quarter past 7. Let's go to the player ratings there. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well if you already haven't done so. Also, check out the clip I've done yesterday. Over 16,000 views. Thanks so much indeed. And if you'd like to super chat, then click on the $sign and give our channel's worth. And if you'd like to become a member, the link is there as well. It's just 99p. And big up to Lynn McTaff as well. And I hope she gets better soon as well. Lynn, if you're listening, Pet, I do dare every day. And, you know, I hope you're okay. And please stay strong, babe. You know what I mean? We love you lots as well. Let's go into the player ratings. You know exactly what to do. We give a players marks out of 10. And that includes the referee, the players, and the manager. And you can join as well. No bitching and moaning, people. Keep it civil, right? And Pete, I'll start with you. I'm going to go with Nick Pope. I think that he made an early save in the first half, which I think it was a great save. But other than that, he had absolutely no chance with Rhodes' curler. But other than that, he hasn't had that much to do.
Not really, just a couple of ones save. I know one goal went past him, but other than that, just not a lot really, was it? I mean, so that missed a couple of opportunities themselves. So that was, yeah, you are. I'll give the Pope a 7.
7 out of 10, yeah, sounds about right. And I've got Kit Kat as well, a Scouse fan. What's the F? You lot are third. We are indeed. And hopefully stay in the top 4. And we're after the big 6. And I tell you what, that's why we're third for a reason. So, no offense to you, man. That is the press we're after in the media sort of thing. They can have their cake and eat it. I feel for Joe not making the Brazilian 26. I will speak of that in a minute, Alan Mace. Don't worry about that. And we're going to go for you, Tony. I'm going to give you Mr. Kieran Trippier.
Yeah, can I just say something before that, John? I mean, obviously, Middlesbrough's getting some racist abuse that was on Twitter aimed at Juba Akpom on Saturday, apparently. Now, Twitter said apparently it didn't find any violation of its rules. Now, this is getting absolutely ridiculous with Twitter now because I've reported racism before. Was when that Sunderland fan said something about Isak. But I said, and it wasn't just me, there was Geordie Toon for Life. There was a few of us from the chat. But me and Geordie Toon for Life both wrote an email to Twitter. I never heard nothing back after they said there was no violation. Now, it's just starting to get more and more ridiculous now. The racist slurs on Twitter is getting worse. And it needs to stop. And they need to really investigate this because it's just getting beyond the joke now. And to say that, how can you say racist slurs but then say, oh, sorry, but it's not violating the rules? Surely it's violating the rules, John. It's got to stop. And I mean, somebody needs to come in and stop this now. I mean, Elon Musk's took over Twitter now. You know, maybe somebody needs to get a hold of him and tell him to stop it, you know, because it just needs to be done. But I think maybe our government need to step on it more with the police and say, right, okay, clamp down on this because this should not be happening, John. It should not be happening. And I hope Jugga Akpom's okay. I mean, you know, I just hope he's fine. And I hope it hasn't upset him too much. But I haven't seen what the racist slurs were. I haven't seen any of that. But it just really saddens me that Twitter say there's no violation of rules. Well, surely racism's racism at the end of the day, John. And, you know, it should be stamped down and clamped and kicked out completely. So I hope more is done about this. And I hope whoever's done it is brought to justice and really put through the courts and made an example of, because once you do it to one, make an example of them, that will not happen anymore. Well, it'll very rarely happen because people will think twice. But until you make the example of the first person, people are going to continue doing it. And anybody out there on the chat or whatever, say anything racism, make sure, or bullying or anything trolling or anything like that, make sure you report it. Doesn't matter how many times you report it, just report it. And at least you've done your bit for society. But, you know, it's just, they need to sort this out. And the sooner it's sorted out on social media, the better. That's just what I wanted to say on that. John, sorry about that.
No, sorry. Well said. No, sorry. The thing is as well, right, sort of thing as well. What I think they need to do as well, you should have one chance on social media. They should ask you for your passport or your driver's license, right? Put your details in, right, through go on Twitter. If you mess that up, that is it. You don't get back on it again. Any racial remarks like that is it, yeah? I mean, Myron Maguire, right, not everyone's favourite, right? Passports, driver's license, yeah? That's proof who you are. Cock up you are done. It's as simple as that. Because Twitter now is so easy to get you. It's free, and they just do what they want. But very well said, Tony. Very well said. Thank you very much indeed. And I'm going to go through comments before you come on as well. We have the Wednesday night cup game as well. Not on TV anyways in the world, lads, which is a shame. Honestly, man, I think there should be a game shown somewhere. Good luck for Geordie Francis' success. Thank you very much indeed. Well said, Tony. Did anyone see the video of Bruno's family celebrated call up at the Risen Squad? I haven't, mate. I haven't seen it at all, but I will check up on that as well. And very well said, Tony, evening to Lee as well, mate. And appreciate that as well. So, Tony, Kieran Trippier, mate.
So Kieran Trippier had a terrific game yesterday. We all got a bit worried when he went down, started feeling the back of his leg, thinking, oh, God, is that the hamstring? But thankfully, he came back on the pitch, seen through to half-time. Obviously, got checked over at half-time, was fine to come out. And, thank God he came back out. I mean, look at that ball he put through to Willock. I mean, what a pass. I mean, to see it and just get it in. And it wasn't just the pass, but it was the weight of pass. That's the key, the weight of the pass as well. It was inch perfect. Couldn't have done it any better. All round, he had a great game. Defensive-wise, attacking-wise, he's just captain fantastic, isn't he? Until the Sells goes out the club, he can't be club captain because Eddie Howe won't change it. And I understand why Eddie Howe won't change that. But yeah, a terrific game for him yesterday. I can't give him any less than a 9, unfortunately, because it's a 9 he needs at least.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 for Kieran Trippier. Let's go on to the other side, Pete. Dan Burn.
Did well. I thought did well at times. Did what he had to do. Caught out a couple, but again, I think that left back role's doing him okay now. It really, really is. There's some people who do not like come up against him because of the size he is. And he know when he can put a tackle in, and he know when he can win a ball, particularly with headers, when long balls do get played as well. I'll go with a 7 for Burn.
Okay, cool. Let's go on to the central defenders. Let's go with you, Tony. And I'm gonna give you Stone Botman. Look, I mean, he gave the ball away a couple of times, especially in the second half. He was nearly costed the equaliser, but he defends well. I know you're a big fan. I'm a big fan as well. I know it was at his best yesterday. I've got to be honest with you. Take it away, Tony.
Yeah, didn't have his greatest game yesterday, but then I did say this, John, a few weeks ago. There'll be one game where you don't have a great game, but then he'll come back the next game and be absolutely superb. But we're all human at the end of the day, so we can all have an off day. And Botman had an off day yesterday. When he kicked that ball out, it went straight to their player. And I mean, Che Adams could have scored from it, but didn't. Thankfully, he didn't have his shooting boots on properly because he cut across that shot rather than, and it flew wide. Thank God. But yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do, but didn't have his greatest game yesterday. But, and he did get upset with that goal going in as well. He wasn't happy about the way that was conceded, which is understandable. Because as a defence, you like to have a clean sheet because a clean sheet against your name is a positive. So he's probably viewed that as a negative. But I think, if he doesn't, obviously, I don't think Botman will play Wednesday, but I think when you see him back Saturday, you'll see the Botman that we're being used to seeing, the Rolls-Royce defender. So, So, I mean, for Botman, I just have to give him a 7 for yesterday. It's not being harsh. It's just being the way he played yesterday. I don't think he had his greatest game. But do you know what I mean? Like I say, you can have an off day. So, a 7 for me.
I have to agree with you, Tony, because look, I'm a big Botman fan. This guy, I think, is going to be a world beater. But yesterday, he wasn't at his best, in my opinion. I know people's going to have a go at us to saying that criticise or not criticising him. I was there yesterday, and like I know George from the performance I witnessed yesterday. Not other games, but witnessed the performance from yesterday. But he'll come back better player. Pete, Fabian, share. For me, I think he defended well yesterday. I thought, yes, okay, he gave away all times, and he blocked a good 6 or 7 good shots as well. And this guy's 30 years of age, right? If he's younger than 30 years old, I tell you something, this guy could be in the 30-40 million bracket because he has been fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I give him an 8 yesterday as well on my show. So, but yeah, I thought I'm going to still stick with an 8. I mean, you did well with the block. I thought you did well to block one of the attempts as well. Again, another one who people struggle to come up against as well because he's been so good at Eddie Howe, and his long balls are really good as well, which you love about him now as well, because Eddie Howe likes his ball played centre backs, definitely so. And look at the way how he's just improved Fabian Schär. So yeah, I'll stick with an 8.
Cool. Fair enough. We're going to the comments. We'll go over the midfield. We're going to fly with this as well. Good evening to Gareth. I hope you're on it. And when you see the other players that missed out on Brazil, you have to understand why Joe Linton was as well. Too many good options in that midfield. That's some Foxy. You're absolutely right. And I know someone said in the comment that they cannot understand why Fred's in the 26 and Joe Linton isn't. For me, I think Joe Linton will play in the Copa America next year. And I'll tell you what, see how he does there, because he's 26 now and he can still get in the World Cup if he's 30. And I think he'd be okay. What a season Joe Linton had this season, by the way. So big up to Joe Linton. So
I mean,
go on, Twin.
I mean, John, also in the Brazil squad as well, Firmino's is not being selected and Martinelli's took his place. So there you go. That's a strange one, isn't it?
Very, very strange that is, man. It is. I mean, Firmino's still a class player. I don't care what anyone thinks of him. That guy is absolutely brilliant in that position, and he still is. He still is. You know what I mean? I don't understand why that time he's not being picked for it at all. That's a good comment there. Foxy, wait till Tripper's pass us all the judge on a wet service. It's still a cracking pass, by the way. Trippier 9, Shah 8, Botman 6, Burn 7. And let's go into the midfield. And I'll go you, Tony. I'm going to give you Bruno.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno had a good game yesterday, done what he had to do, broke up play a few times. Got pulled up for a foul, which I didn't think was a foul, if I was honest. And I think even Bruno was a bit surprised by it. I mean, hardly touched the player, to be fair. But took his goal really well. I mean, used the defender as a wall for the goalkeeper to block his Satans and, killed the ball around Salisu and straight into the back of the net past Mizuno. He had no chance with it anyway. And, and he done his little celebration at the end for his son, for Matteo. I'll give Bruno I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, I'll give him a 9 yesterday for that performance. Yeah, again, this guy just gets better and better and better every single week. He's going to be key for us on Saturday against Chelsea. I truly believe we'll beat Chelsea. Win that game, we'll be 9 points ahead of them going to the World Cup, and that is going to be too much to make up at this stage because Chelsea's been playing poor at the minute. I can't lie. Pete, let's go on to midfield. I'm going to give you Sean Longstaff.
So Longstaff did well again for me as well. He was putting himself about. Right, I know he was offside as well. But you've got to kind of sort of try and put those away. But I thought he did well again. Once again, Sean Longstaff. We're starting to see improvements now. Let's keep it going from him now because it can be something definitely from him. Definitely. So I thought Longstaff's now shown some promises now. I'll go an A for Longstaff.
Cool. And let's go on to Tony. I'm going to give you Joe Willock.
Yeah, Joe Willock. I mean, I thought he had a terrific game yesterday. He was absolutely everywhere. Full of energy. Full of desire to get the ball. Did really well. Took his goal well. like the Romario used to do for Brazil. I mean, you know, the little toe poke and inch perfect. Beat the keeper with ease. I mean, it was, you know, he had to do the hard work and he still had to put it in the back of the net from that superb pass from Trippier, considering the ground was wet as well. And it was awful because that rain was absolutely pouring down. I mean, I think thankfully you were probably under the stands, but I mean, when I saw that on TV, how bad that rain was coming down, I thought, oh my God, this is bad. But yeah, I mean, just put that ball in the back of the net and Willock gets man of the match in my eyes. I mean, I know Sky gave Longstaff man of the match, Alan Smith. And then I know on the app, on the website, they've gave Almer on it. But got some music somewhere.
And don't know what that is.
So basically, Willock man of the match in my eyes, and probably his best performance as well. So I'm going to give him a 10.
Yay!
10.
Yeah, big up to Joe Willock.
10.
Your parents are mine. That's why you two can mix it up there. Is like Joe Willock a 10 out of 10 or 9? Me personally, I'll give him 9 man of the match for me. Man of the match for Joe Willock. So let's go on to Foxy's comment. That's one dodgy decision with Charleston, no penalty goals and in. Firmino has been decent but out. Gabigol, Barbosa, also not in, but his teammate Pedro is someone in quite right there. Striker's position anyway. That's a tough position for Brazil.
Even Coutinho's not been selected as well.
Nah.
But that's due to an injury, but he's not deserved an England Brazil call-up, sorry.
Nah.
That's all.
Not for me. Not for me. Better players around him this season than him. Let's go on to, we don't know midfield. We got to the front three. I'm gonna go with you, Pete. I'm gonna give you Jacob Murphy, mate.
He would, wouldn't he? Yeah, I thought did all right yesterday. I thought. I mean, did well to go forward with the ball at times. A couple of misplaced crosses, one where he really overran it. I've got to admit, but yeah, I thought not pretty okay. It was not too bad from Jacob Murphy yesterday. I'll go with a 7 for him.
Good stuff. 7 for Murphy. On the other side, Miggy, Tony.
Yeah, Miggy, I mean, you know, he had another great game, Miggy. Scored his goal, took his goal really well. Left Maitland nails on his arse, basically. You know, but not only did he push the ball around one way and he ran the other side of him, but he still had to get back around there to get that ball and put it away. And yeah, he put away that with ease. And there was no way that keeper was getting anywhere near it. That very poor keeper, they've gotten goals. So yeah, I give Miggy a 9.
Okay, 9 for Miggy. And Callum Wilson, I'll give you Pete.
Kind of struggled a lot in the game, a little bit, didn't he? But that was due to because he was still feeling under the weather, pretty much with the coldies or whatever he picked up during the week. So I think it was the right to take him off at half time. Luckily, I'm glad it's not an injury. I had a lot of fans thinking, oh, God, not again. But no, it was due to just because he was still feeling a bit under the weather. Right decision, which was good. And, you know, but I'll only give him a 6 because he only played a half.
Fair enough. Let's go on to the substitutes. I'm going to give you Chris Wood, Tony. He took his goal beautifully in the second half. Again, lack of pace has let him down at times. But what he does do, he puts himself about. But second half, I thought he did all right.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Wood did okay. I mean, he came on. He had 45 minutes. Probably a lot of people thought when they saw Chris Wood coming on thinking, oh, hang on, what's going on here? Why is Wilson off? But I think that was because of his cold that he's had. But no, took the goal really well. A great finish from Chris Wood. Obviously, he's got that in his locker. Yeah, he did what he had to do, and I thought he did well. And for the half he was on and for the goal he got. So that then raises the bar a bit for him. So I think overall I've got to give Chris Wood an 8.
Yeah. Okay. Chris Wood 8 out of 10. Let's go through some more comments as well. What has caused Almiron to be the best player in the league at the minute? Was he always this good? It was brilliant for Atlanta. When it came to Newcastle on the Rafa sort of thing, he showed glimpse he can be a great player. Under Steve Bruce, he lost his way because he's been playing different positions on the left, on the right, and in midfield as well. For me, under Steve Bruce, didn't coach him properly, but when Eddie Howe came in, he turned his career around. He's also scored 6 goals in the pre-season friendly as well. So he's having a wonderful, wonderful season. The guy's 29 soon. Team not at their best number 10s. That's from Alan. Has Paqueta been called up? I read he's got man of the match yesterday. I would have loved to have signed him last summer. For me, I think he's been picked for the Brazilian national team. However, right, it was the fans' choice, not the PIF's choice. That's why we didn't get him, Robert. So no way he's going to get him anyway. If Rose had a cord, playing the rain isn't the best idea in his opinion. And Trippier is a big part of the reason why Almiron improved. That's a fair shout, Alan. That's a fair shout. Let's go on to some players as well. I'm going to give you ASM for Pete.
ASM, yeah. I mean, not too bad when he come on. I believe he'll start on Wednesday night. I think it'll be good to get some minutes out of him. It really, really will be. Yeah, I'll go with the 6 for ASM.
Okay. John Shelby for you, Tony.
Again, he'll probably start on Wednesday night. He played all right. I mean, he didn't do too bad when he come on. He didn't have a lot to do, to be fair. So I'll just give him a standard 6.
Okay, that's fair enough. And we've got Javier Crudo. I'll give you Javier Mancuso, Pete. It's good to see him back on the grass, but I think they're going to get rid of him in January, to be fair.
Well, I don't think they will because of Kraft's injury at the moment. So unless we're going for a new right back, okay. But didn't come on for very long, so I'll just go down the middle and go with a 5.
Okay. And last but not least, Elliot Anderson. It's good to see him get some minutes under his belt again. I like to see him play on Wednesday against Palace to see what he does for the full 90 minutes. Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, he didn't have a lot to do, really, John, did he? So,
really,
I'll just give him a standard 6.
Okie dokie. What about the fans, Pete?
Oh, it's got to be a 10, hasn't it? Easily. You know what we're like. We know what we're like in terms of the atmosphere. It's just our fan base is always singing from start to the end of the game completely. And we just do what we do as a fan base. When it comes to games, there you are, just lighting it up every single match day. 10, easily.
Big up. And what about Eddie Howe, Tony?
Well, what can you say about this man? I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic for us. You know, what we've done in 12 months under Eddie Howe. It's his anniversary tomorrow, a year tomorrow, when he came in officially as manager. We saw some on that Saturday night against Brighton, but he wasn't actually confirmed until the Tuesday. So, yeah, I mean, a year tomorrow. Look at the turnaround the club's had in a year. I mean, how bad we were under Bruce, how much confidence was drained. Players were 60% fit when Eddie Howe took over. Look where they are now. They got through the season. We finished 11th then, which was the biggest achievement of all. As if somebody had said to me last season, Steve Bruce will get sat, a new manager will come in, we'll finish 11th. I would have said, are you on drugs? Because that's what I would have said. Because technically, I would have just thought, no chance. I'll be happy if we'd finished 17th and stayed in the league. So to finish 11th last season under Eddie Howe was absolutely superb. This season, he started off absolutely superb again. Hard done to at Liverpool. But other than that, he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been absolutely brilliant. And I think a lot of people are going to start taking notice of Eddie Howe now and realising how good of a manager he is. Forget about Bournemouth. they went down, yeah, but that they had some decisions against them that sent them down as well. But that's not Eddie Howe's fault. That was because Bournemouth, no disrespect them, they're a lot smaller than what we are, and also they don't have a huge amount of money to spend. So, I know they're going through a takeover now, but previous owner, they didn't have a lot of money to spend. So Eddie was working on a tight budget, where here he's got more of a free range sort of thing. So I think, and he's proven that he can work with money, he can work with big players, and he can work with anybody who's got an ego. But I don't think we got anybody in the team that's got an ego, because everybody's on the same. So, so at the end of the day, I've got to give the guy a 10. I can't give him any more than a 10.
Beautiful. 10 out of 10 for Eddie. And Pete, the referee.
Not bad. I mean, he was still blowing the odd silly little soft touch that, but wasn't too bad. So I'll go with a 6 for the referee.
Brilliant stuff. That's the player ratings there. Tell us what you think, guys. Leave a comment section down below.
What? You missed one out?
Did I?
The manager, obviously.
Done Eddie. How? We already done Eddie.
Oh, you done Eddie?
Yeah, done. Yeah.
Oh, you done it?
Oh,
I thought you were just talking about him.
No.
Pete's been asleep there, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, it's Klopp's keep thinking.
See, Pete's only give the ref a 6 because he wouldn't buy Pete a drink on the night out for his birthday in Lowfell.
Oh no! Well, he turned up, and then I would have bought him a birthday drink. But
No, Stuart Atwell. We're on about
Atwell. Yay, Stuart Atwell.
I think Klopp's teeth have just got in my head too much at the moment.
Exactly, man. I Like Coffee says 10 out of 10 for me, for my stream. Thank you so much indeed, my guy. And or Drink Tony. Also, Foxy is saying as well, I heard more people criticise Wood for his miss last week than give him credit for his great goal scored this week. Shocking, really. It's not amazing, but it's now become the new scapegoat for fans. Listen, at the end of the day, if he performs well, I'll big him up. If he doesn't perform well, we have to say something about it. Do you know what I mean? So we have to talk about on that particular game. Not my favourite player, but at the end of the day, right, he puts himself about and he tries. He's a trier. He's definitely a trier. But big up for that goal yesterday. Big up for that goal. Lovely goal. What about your 13, John? Liverpool up for so? Well, Liverpool, I did not associate Liverpool at all. That is not my team, okay? No way, Jose. No way. Even John, Pete, and Tony, as Liverpool trying to get more funds in the club, like investors that are worried about Newcastle now. That just sums it up, doesn't it? It really sums it out, Tony.
Yep, I worried, John. I worried. And I knew this would happen, John. I knew this would happen. The minute the takeover went through, I knew it would happen. And we're seeing it now. Man, you were trying to sell that club as well. They're panicking.
They are.
Because we have now come in and upset the apple cart. And, we're going to be there by the World Cup break. So we're going to be in the top 4 regardless. And then after the World Cup, we only got 2 games before the January window opens. So, January window opens.
Yeah.
We'll have deals lined up, no doubt. And I'll tell you now, the deals that will come in will keep us up that way. And if we're still in that top 4, like I say in April, then I think we'll make a push to stay in that top 4. And that will well and truly upset the Big 6.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Absolutely.
And that's what we want to see.
Exactly. Chris Wood is world class. Wow. I tell you what, though, you have to be fit to Osimhen for Napoli to do that as well.
I would love him, Victor Osimhen.
Hey, what was that, Pete?
Victor Osimhen will be a quality signing.
Would it ever? I tell you what, that would not make Napoli fans happy. Let me tell you. Do you know what I mean? They will be there'll be a riot if Osimhen was left Napoli. I hope we get him. That'd be the dream signing. Do you know what I mean? That would be a dream buy. Go for his comments there before we wrap up. Of course, we are worried. That's what Cat said. Liverpool fan, he thinks that he's worried. I don't think it's just Liverpool panicking. I think the top 6 are panicking. That's from Robert as well. a lot of panic and buy in January for so-called top six minus City, as they can't need anyone else. Exactly. Let's go to wrap up there because I know things going on as well. And Pete, I saw you, mate. Where can we find you, mate?
It's PD Proudlock. And of course, feel free to check out, subscribe. I'm going to be back later at 9:30 for the Crystal Palace preview as well for Wednesday. And I'll be back tomorrow as well on 8:15 for the Premier League review show as well. So feel free to check out, subscribe, and follow me on my social medias, all PD Proudlock, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And the links is in the description as well. So check out PD Proudlock's channel. He's a passionate Newcastle fan, lots of banter as well. And I'm sure he's going to talk more about Jurgen Klopp's teeth as well on this channel. And Tony, what about you, my guy? Where can you find you?
Yeah, no Channel 900 for you tonight, Pete.
Yeah.
Chipman's favourite channel, isn't it?
Exactly. You love that.
Yeah, so guys, you can find me down there at 2031. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. Also, you can find me on It's All Black and White TV, my new channel, which has been going just over 2 weeks now. So please head along and have a look at that. I'm doing a show at 8 o'clock tonight, actually in about 14 minutes time. So yeah, we're doing a match review again of yesterday's game. So if you want to tune in and have a watch of that, it should be a good show. And it's going well. Thank you very much, John.
You're welcome, Tony, anytime. And Chris Banks, well, big up to you, Chris. I'm not great sure. John, Tony, Pete, thank you very much indeed. And if you'd like to find us, check us out on Twitter, Insta, Facebook as well. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's John Sinclair TV. And if you want to follow us on social media, it's John_NUFC42. Just to get Yaya Tori's number as well. Not my hero, but there you go. And good show, John. Thank you so much indeed, Alan, as well. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, like I said, John Sinclair TV, just hit that subscribe button. If you like, also, if you hit the like button as well. If you like to super chat, then you could go for the thanks option as well. Just give what the channel is worth on here as well. If you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. Also, check out the clip, the Southampton result, 4-1 win. Toon fans taking over. I now got over 16,400 views on there as well. And also, by the way, I've got around about 80 new subscribers just to that one night. Big up for everyone subscribed to me. Wonderful time as well. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Pete, as well. So you're going to wrap up there. I'll see you back tomorrow. There'll be no Premier League prediction show tomorrow because it's going to be a preview tomorrow between Newcastle against Palace. So we're doing that tomorrow around about 7 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, I'll be on Tony's channel. And Thursday, it'll either be the fans forum or the match preview. So check us out for that. And until then, guys, thank you so much indeed. And until then, it's a goodbye.
Goodbye.
Sorry.